What's going on, YouTube? Back for another episode here, and I wanted to make a bit of a different video today. It was something that was on my mind, and I'm getting back into the swing of things, checking gyms out again, and we're going to be doing more of that, and some traveling along with that and whatnot as well, which is going to be awesome in the coming future here. But I just wanted to make a bit of a video today, just going over something that's been on my mind and something that I think I can help some people out in some areas. So, kind of what I wanted to touch on is economic and financial success, and something that it can be achievable quite early on in life, as I found. As a little bit of background about myself is that, I don't know if many people know, I mean, the followers of the channel just kind of know me more on the fitness side and whatnot, and what I do on that, and I've covered a couple of the bodybuilding shows that I've done and the gyms that I've checked out. However, just a bit about myself is, I'm 25 years old, and I live in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, which is arguably the most expensive city in the world. I would say it's definitely up there, and definitely in the top 5 for sure, in terms of housing, and just the cost of everything is quite high for sure. So I just wanted to kind of go over here what I did to achieve pretty good financial success. I mean, I'm not the wealthiest person around or anything, but I believe that I've done pretty well for myself, especially for my age. So, kind of what I wanted to go over here is how I kind of accrued my wealth and how I kind of exponentially grew it, so to speak. So, first of all, we all want a job, a dream sort of job. Whereas, even for me, I mean, I would love to make YouTube videos and travel around to gyms all the time, which I'm doing. But that would be awesome to do that full time, right? And to not get my hands dirty ever, or have to work really long hours and all that. But that's not really reality lots of times, especially when you're just getting started out, right? That I find that, especially in the economy today, there's a lot of money that can be made in jobs that other people do not want to do, and this could be a great start to start your financial journey here. So, kind of what I did is I got into refrigeration trade as well as power engineering, and those are little education I had in those. I wasn't in school for very long, and most of the education I did on my own. So, this was an area that I got into, and I found that there was not many people in this area, especially in the power engineering world side of it. And there was tons of hours and tons of overtime to make. And it's not really the most glamorous job. Sometimes it can be even a bit dangerous at times, working with some dangerous chemicals and whatnot. But it can be very, very rewarding because it's an area that not a lot of people think to go in. So I just wanted to kind of outline that because, I mean, in total, I was probably in school for maybe a year, and most of it was self-paced, most of it was on my own, and I'm making pretty close to a 6-figure income at my age, which is, I think it's pretty good, because I know a lot of people that have done 4-year degrees and all that sort of thing, and have accrued a pretty substantial amount of debt, and are not making the same amount of money, or even get degrees that they're not using anymore. I've seen that a lot as well, or they're never used at all because they couldn't really find a job in it. So I find that sometimes if there's a job that maybe is not really so desirable, but the money's pretty good in it, and I think there's some good opportunities, and I mean, it's not that bad. Maybe you're not really so much of a tradesperson. I know a lot of people aren't. Even myself, I'm not naturally. I didn't grow up working on cars and all that, but it's something that you pick up, and through training, and you become better at it, and you study, and you become better at these trades, right? And it's a substantial amount of money to make in it. And so kind of what I did with that is I was able to make a very good amount of money. And then for the last 5 years, I've been very into the financial and stock markets and crypto and everything along those lines. And this is the key, in my opinion, because you make the money, you put it in a savings account, not going to do anything, right? So what I did is I learned how to research companies, learned how to value companies, and I was able to prosper off buying some stocks, buying some portions of companies, and writing them up, and in many cases able to double, triple, 4 or 5x my money in a lot of cases on these stocks, on these companies, on these cryptos. So this was something that was really, really awesome because it allowed me to multiply my money into a pretty good sort of way, and I was able to accrue enough for a down payment for a condo here, which, if you know anything about Vancouver real estate, is not exactly the easiest thing to do as well. So that's kind of the route that I went, and so yeah, that's what I recommend, is that you find a job. Probably it could or could not include a 4-year degree. However, I don't like the idea of going through a 4-year degree, taking out all this debt for a degree that after 4 years the industry's changed so much and now you're kind of behind the curve anyways. That's what I don't really like about university. I'm not a university person anyway. I can't sit in a classroom. I don't learn like that. So yeah, so that's kind of the message that I wanted to put out there, especially for the younger generation or anybody watching this at all, is that, you know, try to go into a job that not a lot of people are in and find some holes and find somewhere you can get a lot of overtime, at least for a couple of years, to grind it out, to get yourself at least a bit of a nest egg. Because once you get a nest egg of money, your money can start making money for you, and then that compounds and that compounds, and it can result in some pretty amazing things. And as much as it's not everything, financial success, it is a pretty big portion of life, and it allows you to do the stuff that you want to do and have freedom, which is the biggest key, right? So that's kind of the message that I wanted to get across here, and especially to tell the younger generation. I hear so much about there right now about inflation, and it's so unachievable for anybody in the younger generation to get ahead at all, and it's not true. It's just really not true. You just have to find other ways to do things, and you gotta, you know, sometimes you gotta look through other doors and go through other paths that other people are going, and you'd be surprised after a couple of years of grinding, after a couple of years of working very hard, like even for myself, for me to get my financial base, I knew that I was going to have to work 60, 70 hours a week, and that's what I did lots of times, and that didn't include my workout time, prepping my meals, my cardio. That was just work. So you can imagine that I had a very, very busy schedule, and I continue to have a very, very busy schedule. But it's something that's worth it, because I know when I achieve my financial freedom, which I'm starting to get there already at my age. I'm not going to get into exact numbers, but I have a mid-6-figure net worth, which I'm pretty proud of. And yeah, so that's kind of the message that I wanted to put across, and just to spread some positivity, and just to tell people that it's worth it, and maybe to look into a bit, become financially literate, and kind of learn, what are stocks, how to buy stocks, portions of companies, cryptos, and then eventually, I think I kind of started with that because with a smaller amounts of money, it's kind of a little bit easier to multiply that sort of way. And then I took a more substantial amount of money that I had, and then I kind of got into real estate, which is the condo that I have now. So that's something that I wanted to bring across, and that even myself in the most expensive cities in the world, that it can be done, and there's always hope out there. And it's not the most glamorous way. It's not always some tech job or being an internet star. Sometimes it's the dirty jobs. As you guys have probably seen Mike Rowe. He has a great show on how there's so many millionaire plumbers and millionaire welders out there, because when you got a job that's in high demand, you really start to make your own paycheck, as you'll get to see. As, for example, I had a company approach me not too long ago, and we negotiated wages 3 times before we came to an agreement on my wage. So that's something that if you're specialized in something, you have a bit of pricing power, which is really, really important in today's world. So that's kind of all I wanted to say, and I hope it's helped some people out and got some people on the right path. And I just want anybody to comment kind of what your experience has been with whether when you're choosing your career, how are you able to achieve financial success, or kind of any mistakes or downfalls you made along the way. And I'm not going to get into exactly all numbers and what I own and what portfolio here. There's lots of guys on YouTube that do that, and that's not what my channel is all about. So I just wanted to get into that, and yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video and this message helps some people. And if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.